Hello. Okay, so I am going to try to video this. I probably should stand up. We've been talking about additive inverse and how negative signs are, negative really means the opposite of. So here we're going to model out the opposite of 2 combined with positive 2. The main thing I want you getting from this is how to demonstrate problems doing the 4 representations concrete, which is your hands-on. So that's like your counter chips or algebra tiles or whatever materials you choose to use and manipulate on your table. Pictorial, which is drawings. Abstract, which is just your basic calculations. And then verbal representations, which can be steps, meanings, you explaining how to do it in your words. That one kind of, sometimes I'll have you write it out. Sometimes if you make me a video, you'll just talk like I am, and that would be your verbal representation. So first thing here, let's do the concrete, the hands-on. So we're going to model out -2 plus 2, and I want to show you, here we've got -2, so the symbol of negative goes with this 2. We just keep the symbol in front of it together. So we'll just combine that with parentheses just to make life a little easier. Here we've got +2, so we're adding, which is combining with a 2. Okay, and that's obviously a +2 because there's no symbol right in front of it. So we have a -2 combined with the +2. So you should be thinking to yourself, well, those are opposites. So you should have some kind of idea as to how this is going to turn out. I'm using small numbers just so that you can focus on really the multiple representations. So first number, -2. How do we show that? We show it with red chips and 2 of them. And we're going to combine it with +2. So positive is shown with the yellow chips. Combine it. And you should also see that there are some 0 pairs formed here. So I like to show those by circling them. 0 pair and 0 pair. So all together we've got a big fat 0. Okay, so that's the concrete, that's hands-on because we're using these physical manipulatives that you can pick up and throw around. I'll leave that there, hold on. Okay, next, pictorial. This is drawings. So you could, some people like to draw out the chips, and I might do that for you here in a minute as well. Others, I definitely want you to know how to do this on a number line, so we're going to do number line this time. I'm going to fill in my number line. So 0, I need -2, so I'm going to go backwards 2. Sorry about the handwriting. And I'll go up 1 and up 2. I'm just going to start with that. So when you're dealing with the number line, you always start at 0. So the first thing we need to do is travel to -2. Negative is down, so we're going to start here at 0. We're going to go down 1, 2, and this is where we're starting. And then we are adding 2. So now adding is going to go to the right because it's positive that we're adding. So we're going to start here at this -2, starting at -2 and then going up 2. So here we are starting at -2 and going up 1, 2. So here's where we end up, which is at 0. Okay, so here was us just showing start at -2, and then we're going to go up 2, making a 0. Okay, so that's number line. For your, if you wanted to draw the chips, I'll just do a quick drawing here. We could do green for positive, and we'll say black for negative. So I'm just drawing chips. So here's 1, 2 negatives to represent that. And then I'm going to combine it with 2 positives. So there's 1, 2 positives. And then the same thing. We have positive and negative make a 0. Positive and negative make 0. So all together, 0. Okay, so that's just a variety of ways that you can demonstrate this understanding. Abstract calculations. That's merely calculating it. In 7th grade, you will get to use calculators. However, you should not need to use them for this problem. So here we are looking at just the numbers. Some people have a really strong experience with numbers and know how they interact and can look at this and know right away. Others, you know, we might have some other supports that we use. But if this is the only way you can do something and you don't know how to show it or represent it using a different representation, then you don't really understand what you're doing. Math is not about memorizing steps and hoping that you're right. You really need to understand what you're doing. So we will learn a lot of rules about negative numbers and integers and adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing them this year. But right now I'm looking at it, we're adding them. The numbers are, they have different signs. They have a negative and they have a positive. So if that is the case, we're going to subtract them. This is me telling you rules that you don't know yet. We'll get to that. But negative 2 and positive 2 makes a 0. And then my verbal representation, the negative signs mean opposite of. When you combine a number with its opposite, the positive value and the negative value zero each other out. Okay, so this is a way to show multiple representations, just making a video, showing me your concrete materials, a drawing, abstract calculation, and then explaining to me what you learned and how you know that this is correct.